to Coffee Conversations. We're glad to have you join us today as we have some special guests to talk to us about wrapping up Operation Smooth Start. It has been a wonderful and interesting start to our 2020-2021 school year, and we want to take the opportunity to update you on all that's going on. So we want to welcome our guests with us today, but first let me start with our co-hosts, our faces we see all the time, Jonathan and Renata. Thank you for joining us. Will you introduce yourselves?
Certainly. Good morning. My name is Jonathan Franz, and I'm the Social Studies Curriculum Specialist for Cumberland County Schools.
Hello, everyone. I'm Renata Moy, Chief Communications Officer with the Cumberland County Schools.
And I'm Joaquin George, Family Engagement Specialist for Cumberland County Schools. Our special guests and experts that we have with us today, we have Dr. Stacy Wilson Norman, our Chief Academic Officer. Welcome, Dr. Stacy Wilson Norman. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
We have Dr. Malata Hill, who's been with us before to give us information on elementary instruction. Dr. Hill, thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
And we have with us two of our outstanding premier professional principals. We have Lisa Crawford from Rockfish Elementary School. Thank you for joining us. And we have Dr. Don Cahill, and I've been informed he's one of our longest standing principals in Cumberland County Schools. Dr. Cahill from Bill Hefner Elementary. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Cahill.
Good morning.
So we're going to go ahead and get started with our conversation. Of course, we're talking about wrapping up Operation Smooth Start and what's going to be going on next. So as we wrap up the first 2 weeks of school and Operation Smooth Start, which was really focused on making sure the students had the equipment that they need, the necessary tools for remote learning, what can families actually expect moving forward?
Moving forward, families can expect more of the same. And what I mean by that, outstanding instruction by our teachers, our commitment to social emotional learning for our students, looking for ways to provide flexibility for our families. We know that not every home situation is exactly the same. So our educators are really focused on teaching and learning, social emotional learning, and continuing to stay well connected with families. So during this play and seal remote learning period, that we can ensure that all of our students are learning no matter what their particular situation may be.
Okay. Now, you know what? I noticed this week the district announced an updated remote learning schedule for students in grades K through 5. Now, will you all share with us an overview of those changes?
Renata, I'll be glad to share those overview of those changes. Please know we're trying to do the best of both worlds. For those working families who really and truly wanted to have all of the live instruction in the morning, and we really wanted to hear and address that. And for those that, the whole day was working for their particular child, please know that we're going to still continue with a 6-hour instructional day. The lunch will be shaved down to 60 minutes now. So it originally was 90 minutes, but now we're only doing 60 minutes. We also are going to ask for 2 brain breaks in the morning, but please know we're going to reduce them from 20 minutes, and each site-based school will make the decision of what is going to be the transition time for their brain breaks. All live instruction, all synchronous instruction, that's a new term that we're learning in our remote learning, it will occur in the morning before lunch. So all direct instruction will occur before lunch. After lunch, we will have more independent work on our students in grades K through 5, and that term asynchronous learning. So that will occur in the afternoon. Teachers will still be able to conduct their small group instructions with their students, and please know it will be a coordination of schedules between the home and the school to ensure that that is an option for our learners. So we're looking forward to these changes. Please know we have given our school leadership teams the date of September 1st, no later than September the 8th, to have these changes in place.
That's good. So those small groups, the teacher can do the small groups in the afternoon as well.
And as long as it's a coordination of an agreement between the home and the school in order to make sure that everybody's schedules will be accommodated.
That's good. Okay. Thank
Really-
you.
And I would also like to add, I would like to let our parents know that afternoon instruction will consist of one-on-one instruction, not just a small group. Many of our schools have remediation teachers that will be available during that time to meet those academic needs of those students as well.
Good.
At the school level, we continue to communicate with our parents and make sure our parents know exactly what's going on at our school with our teachers. And our teachers are constantly reaching out to our families to keep that communication open.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dr. Cahill, it sounds like parent communication and school communication as a two-way street is going to be very important moving forward.
Throughout this whole process.
Very good. Very good. Now, what about, I guess, the electives, you know, phys ed, art, music? I mean, those things that a lot of kids really live for. What about those?
You're right, Jonathan. They do. They live
Yeah.
for them. They love resource classes. Our electives, our PE, our physical education, art, music, and our media classes will continue as scheduled. Students will have an abbreviated resource period. However, they will be afforded those opportunities to meet with those teachers. Those classes could also be delivered live or pre-recorded, but the students will have that opportunity.
Very good. Very good.
So, of course, when school is in session and we're face-to-face, kids bring home all kinds of homework assignments, book reports, and all kinds of things. They're like, oh my gosh, it's homework time. So with virtual learning, is there still homework?
Joaquin, you posed a very good question this morning. All of our students right now under Plan C are at home. So all the work that they're encountering is at home. And so we've had some very candid conversation about, is the term homework going away? But please know, for each of our content areas, we have clearly communicated what is the minimum number of assignments required for each content area. And consistently across our district, all content areas will provide students 5 instructional days in order to complete those assignments. And so therefore, technically, they're all at home completing their independent tasks. And so therefore, it's clearly conveyed the minimum number of assignments, as well as that consistent message of 5 instructional days in order to complete those assignments.
That's good to know. It's good to know. I'm sorry, go right ahead, Dr. Cahill.
A good portion of this, and when I go on and I see the virtual learning going on, I see a lot of parents as well. And so the parents with the children are doing the work together, and that keeps the communication line open, and that helps the kids. It helps the parents understand what's going on. And I know when we moved to this new schedule, it was a little bit easier because we have been communicating with parents.
So, let me ask this question then. So as a parent, because I'm a parent of a 3rd grader, should I be there beside my 3rd grader doing work, or allowing him to be in his space with his teacher doing their work?
I would like to take that one. I think that I think it's important for especially our 3rd grade students to have that independent time with their teacher.
Okay.
It's not necessary for a parent to sit all day with their student. We too have parents who are coming in and out, but I don't feel that that's necessary. Our teachers are prepared for our students every day. They are delivering rigorous instruction. They don't need that person there. Teachers are making sure that students are receiving that specific guided instruction during that whole group time. Students know what the expectation is when it is time for independent practice. Teachers are still going to be available during that time of independent practice for those students who have those questions. We have many avenues for those children to contact those teachers during that time, but parents do not need to be present for the virtual learning. No, they do not.
And Ms. Crawford, if I may just add as well, we do know that for our younger students in grades kindergarten and 1st, it can be a little overwhelming for
It
them.
can be.
And so we want to make sure that based upon the developmental appropriateness of your child and where they are and what they may need, we want to gradually make sure that we're making that transition. So it's not that if a kindergartner is a little bit afraid of this new experience, please, families, we encourage you.
That's right.
Be right there to kind of guide them through that process. But we do want to build up their independence so that they will be able and feel comfortable enough. So we are having some flexibility, especially with our kindergartners and our first graders.
Absolutely.
That's good. It's good to see that you all have thought this out very intricately. As a parent, it puts me at ease. I appreciate that. So what should parents do though if their child happens to miss a lesson or a day of virtual school?
Well, we have it set up to where we can accommodate those needs. Students are considered present for daily attendance if assignments are complete and they've checked in with that teacher. And that's so very, very important for our parents to understand. We realize that our parents are facing many, many challenges during this time. And we are working hard to accommodate the individual needs of each family in our prospective schools. So if a child is not able to attend a lesson or a child misses a full day of instruction, what we would like is that open communication between parent, teacher, parent, school. We need to know how we can support those parents on those particular days. All learning assignments can be made up. They can be submitted when students are unable to attend virtually. And again, we have that 5-day window. So we are here to offer that extra support because every family has a different need. And of course, we are offering recorded classroom instruction. So we have many, many avenues to help those students who are not available to attend virtually.
That's good.
And all that information is on our Canvas site. So the parents can go through that and the students can go to that if they miss a lesson.
Okay, that's good.
Very good, very good. So you mentioned the recording sessions. What kinds of flexibility are available in case the traditional school hours don't work for a family?
So Jonathan, as I shared earlier, we recognize in this particular situation, not everyone's schedule is going to align with every particular situation. So we have worked to now have our lessons recorded. Our teachers are being trained on recording lessons at this time. We're also looking at a Twilight Academy that will be available between 6 and 7 for families who say, I still want my child to take place in live instruction with a teacher, but during the day they may be in a daycare center at grandma's or in a particular situation where it doesn't work out. Now, the Twilight Academy, it won't be the child's personal teacher. However, it will be a certified licensed grade level teacher from Cumberland County Schools who can do live lessons with that child and other children in each attendance zone. And so that's also an option for families. We've also put in place for families who their students aren't understanding something, they missed a concept, that there's one-on-one tutoring that families can call into, log in with their CCS email, their student CCS email, and a tutor will come online to support them through a chat feature. So we've tried to put multiple supports in place to be able to help families.
Dr. Wilson-Norman, just to add to that, the consistent message that we have shared with our school leadership teams and the stakeholders that they serve, be it their parents, family members, daycares, is that we want to do all we can to know how to prescribe the educational path and provide that academic support for all of our families. So if you're in a daycare, if you're with a relative, if you're at your job with your family, we want to make sure that we know that information, and whatever additional support that we can provide, that's our customer service to our families.
Good.
And I'll just add, as a parent, I'm just so blown away all the different things the district is putting in place so quickly in response to, I'm going to say, our needs. Like, as a parent, our needs. It's really. It's amazing all the work that's being done. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
And as a principal, I want to stress to our parents, we're all in this together. We're working through this together, and anything that they need, the school's open during the day as far as phone calls. and I take phone calls during the day. I do emails at night. I think everybody does. But we're working to help our boys and girls in Cumberland County.
Absolutely.
And I also would like to add that communication is the key. If a parent has a individual need, we will certainly try to accommodate your individual needs to meet the academic needs of your child. We are here to serve you and and the families in our community. So we just need to know how we can help you.
Exactly.
Excellent.
And we agree. I think that as we engage in opening school in a remote learning environment, we're all trying to ensure that every student has what they need, and that may not be the same for every individual child. Work closely with your teachers, work closely with your schools, so that we can ensure that as a community, we are growing together and our children are being successful as a collective community.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for that, that conversation, that insight. We needed that. There are changes that happen, and we want to make sure that our families stay well informed. So Ms. Crawford, Dr. Cahill, as elementary school principals, thank you so much for being with us today. You're on the front lines every day, taking a lot of calls and answering a lot of questions, but thank you for taking the time out to join us. Dr. Hill and Dr. Wilson Norman, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us an update, that valuable information about wrapping up Operation Smooth Start and what we're doing next. There are so many opportunities for families, and if we haven't, from what I'm gathering, if we haven't given you what you need yet, we will work on it. Just continue to communicate, as we've all stated, to make sure that we can put the necessary things in place so that your children can be successful. So thank you all for joining us today. Renata and Jonathan, of course, thank you for being our co-hosts. We appreciate you being with us. Coffee Conversations is part of Cumberland Family Academy. It's a Cumberland County Schools initiative that seeks to meet the needs of our families by providing much needed information from our school district leadership and staff. With each episode, it is our goal to engage in conversations that are informative, insightful, and encouraging for our Cumberland County Schools families. So thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of Coffee Conversations. Remember to join us next time. You bring your coffee and we'll bring the conversation. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.